guys, welcome back to Flora Fun and Food. My name is Lauren and this is Bruno. And today I kind of wanted to just share his story with you guys. We recently just got him back from a month-long kind of boot camp training program. And so I just kind of wanted to share his story. And I mentioned in a video previously that he was away somewhere and that I could give you an update when it was time. And the trainer, who is my cousin, actually, has given us permission to use some of his footage. And if you're looking for an amazing trainer and you're near the St. Louis area, I highly, highly recommend him, and I'll link his information down in the description box below. But Bruno here, Now, to the social media world, Bruno just seems like a happy-go-lucky, goofy, sweater-loving dog that enjoys life, is spoiled rotten, and is just the perfect dog. But in reality, there's kind of a darker side to Bruno. So let's get into that. We got Bruno 4 years ago. It was a random snow day. Like I've said in a previous video, I'm a teacher. And we happened to have a snow day. The roads actually weren't too bad. And so my husband was also home and I just said, hey, let's go adopt a dog. So we drove out to the pet shelter and we had kind of looked on their website beforehand just to see what they had. And we were torn between two lab siblings, a brother and a sister lab, and Bruno here. And I really wanted a large dog. My dream dog is a Great Dane, and his said Great Dane mix. Now looking at him, I don't know if that's what he is. We think he is a mixture of a few other things, but I don't know if Great Dane's one of them. But anyway, so we show up to the shelter, and red flag number one should have been, oh, you want to see Bruno? Hang on. And they went and got their manager. And so I was like, well, that's kind of weird because I've looked at dogs before, just, you know, and you just go back to their kennel and you get to see them. And so the manager came out and said, okay, so if you're really serious about wanting to see Bruno, there are some things you need to know. And so I have a huge heart for animals. And so any of those heart-wrenching stories on Facebook, I'm always like, oh my gosh, I would adopt them. I would do all the things to take care of them. And so I kind of got, involved and sucked in to Bruno's story. So the manager tells us that they have had Bruno for 4 months, which is quite a long time in the shelter. They told us that he was a forced surrender, meaning that if the previous owners allowed the shelter to take him away, they would avoid an animal cruelty ticket, which I don't agree with because now I feel like they're just going to get another dog and abuse it. But anyway, so they went and picked Bruno up and his living conditions were terrible. He apparently was chained to a concrete pad in the backyard. He had no food, no water. He was clearly starved. And they had a high suspicion that he was beaten pretty badly. He was very skittish. He was very aggressive. His fight or flight was always fight because he couldn't get away. And they estimated his age to be about 4 years old, and he was only 40 pounds when they got him. Now, they think his ideal weight is around 120 pounds, and so he was severely malnourished and severely underweight. And so in that 4-month time that he was at the shelter, they beefed him up to a good 90 pounds, but he had lots of behavior and aggression issues. I guess multiple families had come to see him and turned him down because he either snarled at them, he nipped at the children, and he was becoming kind of an unadoptable dog. And so she told us all of this and she's like, okay, do you still want to see him? And I said, absolutely. I will save this dog. You got an itch? So my husband Keegan and I were like, yeah, we still want to see him. And so they said, okay, we'll take you back to the kennel, but then we're going to bring him outside to one of the, like the exercise pens, so that a trainer can be with you to meet him. When you go outside, we want you to sit. We don't want you to look at him. We don't want you to talk to him. Pretend he's not there and completely ignore him. red flag number 2, right? So we head back to the kennels, and kennels, I so appreciate what shelters do. They truly save animals' lives. But the conditions at a shelter, and they'll tell you the same thing, the conditions there are not ideal. They are a high stress, high anxiety environment. The poor dogs are in their kennels 23 hours a day. They have to go to the bathroom in their kennels, which is something they like instinctually don't want to do. And so they only get exercise for an hour a day. And there's, barking dogs, there's people walking around, there's strange noises. So it's very, very stressful and scary. And so Bruno, because of that, we think has a lot of crate aggression, protectivity, if that's a word. And so that was red flag. That was a big burp. That was red flag 3, because when we got to his kennel, he snarled and snapped at the cage. It's like he was trying to break out to maul anybody who was nearby. And so I still wanted to see him. I still thought I could save this dog. And so, and my husband Keegan is great. He kind of goes along with my crazy schemes. And so we met the trainer out in the fenced in area outside. Excuse you. So we did what we were told. We sat down, we didn't make eye contact, we didn't talk to him, and the trainer just kind of walked him around, and we ignored him for maybe 5 minutes. That was it. So then we were told that we would not be able to take him home that day, and that we would really need to do a few kind of a meet and greet sessions in order for them to determine if we would be a good fit for him, and vice versa. And so we scheduled another time to come back within the next day or two to come see him, and we did the exact same thing. They brought him outside, we ignored him, and they walked him around and took him away. We did this probably 4 different times, and he never snarled at us outside. He was never openly aggressive to us outside. And so the trainers thought maybe it would be a pretty good match. And so on the final meet and greet day, I was expecting to take him home. Red flag number, 4? They said, you can't take him home. We will deliver him to you. I'm fairly certain now it's because they didn't want him to maul us in the car. So we scheduled a time for a trainer to drive him to our house. She stayed with him for a good hour. She walked him around. She took him outside. We showed her where all of his things were, his kennel, his toys, all of that. She told us that we would never be able to take anything out of his mouth. Like if he had something he shouldn't, we should try and trade him for a treat. If he was chewing on something, don't put your hand near his face. Don't put it in his mouth. If you need him to move away from something, don't grab him. Actually we were supposed to leave a leash on him at all times. Being extremely cautious, but I was like, what have we gotten ourselves into? And now I can do whatever I want, and he doesn't care. He's so trusting of us. It took him about 1 day to bond with me and get used to me and be just my little snuggle pup. It took a couple more days for him to get used to Keegan. He wasn't aggressive towards him, but he was very unsure of Keegan. He seems to have kind of an aversion to men more than women, so we're assuming that the owner that abused him the most was a male. And so, but eventually he warmed up to us, and he was the perfect dog. He was happy-go-lucky, he was goofy, he was playful with us. However, if anybody came over, it was a totally different story. It was the shelter kennel all over again. He was biting at the cage door to get out. He was trying to maul. He was trying to hurt. He was trying to kill. And so we were afraid that we were going to end up with a bite lawsuit. And so I worked really hard to muzzle train him because, we had to take him to the vet, and he couldn't go out in public without a muzzle or he was going to bite someone. And so I muzzle trained him. He had heartworms when we got him, and so we had to take him back for heartworm treatments. And this is my PSA, my plea to you guys, please give your dogs heartworm preventative, because the treatment for heartworms is heartbreaking. It is painful, it is scary, and it's not fun whatsoever. So we give him monthly heartworm preventative, and he has not had a problem since. But anyway, he also came with a myriad of other issues. They said he had anxiety, so he had anxiety meds. He had arthritis in his back hips from sitting on that concrete pad for so long, so he came with medicine for that. He ended up getting all kinds of prescribed medications for his behavior, his anxiety, his arthritis. And this poor dog was a drugged out zombie. And so we were willing to deal with that because, you know, we're going to listen to the experts. We trusted the vets, we trusted the trainers, and we were going to do everything we could to save this dog. The shelter where we got him is a no-kill shelter, and so I know that they wouldn't have euthanized him, but I think that they would have shipped him somewhere that was a possibility. So I didn't regret getting him, but I realized kind of the intensity of the situation and the headache that I got myself into. And so we kept giving him medications. We saw the shelter trainers they provided, but they were doing positive only training. And they were saying, you know, if he's aggressive with strangers, we just need to show him that strangers are okay. So anytime he reacts to a stranger, whether it's growling, barking, or just looking, give him a treat. And that was my kind of red flag 5. Like, hey, if I'm rewarding a growl, that's going to insinuate that I want him to growl at strangers, right? And they were like, no, it's just creating a positive relationship to strangers. So again, I'm going to listen to the experts because I don't know what I'm doing. And so we tried everything exactly how they said. We tried for 4 years, guys. 4 years. This dog would freak out if anyone came into the house that he had known for 4 years. My parents have come over weekly for 4 years, and he still would growl and snarl and try to break out and maul them. And so he did eventually warm up to my mom a little bit, but it was still very iffy. And so finally, as luck would have it, my cousin had gotten trained to deal with aggressive dogs and train them with a program called NEPO-PO. It's negative, positive, positive. So for every negative towards the dog, there has to be at least 2 positives. Now, in theory, that sounds great, but I didn't quite understand what that was. And so I had seen Josef on Facebook, his testimonials with other dogs, and he really, really seemed to know what he was doing. And so as luck would have it, we were going out of town for 11 days. And I said, hey, is there any way you could board and train him while we're on vacation to just give you ample time to work with him and maybe help fix this situation so that in the future someone could watch him and could, you know, not be mauled to death and we could maybe go on a trip. And so he agreed to take him. Apparently it was his most aggressive case he's ever had. And before we took him on our vacation, he actually came up to Kansas City. Like I said, he's in St. Louis. And so he was in town for a family thing, and he said, hey, can I come see Bruno at your house? Absolutely. So he came over, and here's how his first meeting went.
No. Good baby. Hi, Bruno. No. 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 Good baby. No. Oh, I know. You can say puppy and dog language. Good baby. Oh, yes, no. So I'm purposely making him work for it so he has to get used to my finger being closer.
Gotcha.
I'm not giving him the treat because I want him to go, wait a minute, there's 2 options here, peace or war.
Right.
Good
He's
buddy.
so food motivated.
No. Hey. No. No. Hey. No. No.
So this is pretty typical, his behavior here of what he does, even with people he has met hundreds of times. And so I really was just like, there's no hope for him ever getting better. I was bound and determined that, this dog was going to be with us until his final days. Like, he's not going anywhere. We're not putting him down. We'll just have to deal with being extremely careful and, watch like hawks, basically. But Josef didn't seem fazed. He was so willing to work with Bruno, and was excited, I think, to work with him because he was a challenge. And so we took him to St. Louis on our way to Maryland. We dropped him off. Bruno threw a horrible fit. It almost made me cry. Just tried to get away from Josef, wanted us. And here I'll show you some footage of their first meeting in St. Louis, and how he did with Josef.
Nope, come. Come.
Come. I think he's getting the message.
Yeah, I think he'll pick it up fast.
I think so too. You have to throw a tantrum or two in the driveway. But...
Yeah, I know. I wish we would have got the thrashing on camera. Yeah. Show what a big baby he is.
I'm going to have you take him for a second. I got it. Where I can get.
Baron's a good boy. Mm-hmm. Well, he told him to get, and he got farther out.
I don't know what I'm saying. Is like he knows to stop 20 feet out of him.
Yeah.
So, come on. Nope, sit. Nope. So when you're doing this, what I'm looking for, Baron, get. What I'm looking for Bruno controlling the face.
Yeah.
So, hey, Bruno. Nope. Bruno.
And turning him away from Baron.
And here, I just want, no, Bruno. Nope. Good boy. I want to control the face. Baron,
okay.
You're asking for it, buddy. Get.
He's like, but a big dog. Hi, baby.
Come here, Baron. You're fine. Stay over here.
Yeah, he's a big mean dog.
Come here, buddy.
You'll teach him, right, Baron?
Bruno, sit. You'll see how he turned away there?
Uh-huh.
Bruno ready.
Okay.
Bruno, sit. Nope.
Sounds like a pot belly pig.
So I'm just going to control his face. I want his face forward with me.
Okay.
In getting a reactive dog fixed, wherever we're pointing, the dog is pointing.
Okay.
I don't have, you can't be watching all directions. Come on, break. Nope. And I'm going to be changing commands quite a bit.
Okay.
So this is why that free's so important. Bruno, free. Nope.
He's like, okay, fine, I'll go get him.
Do that.
Yeah.
Free allows me to get those reps in.
Okay.
Bruno, sit. Baron, get. Baron, plots. 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 Come on, Bruno. Come on.
Good boy, Baron.
Come here, bud. Come here, Baron.
No, just let him do his job, babe.
I know. Okay, hi.
He's a good boy.
Yeah.
Nope. Sit.
Yeah, he's going to drink a gallon of water.
He's gonna throw up.
I'm just getting this pressure less and less and less. He's going to live on this leash with me when he's out of the cage for 48 hours.
Okay.
Yeah, so basically you don't think. You don't make a choice.
Yeah.
And if I can get him to the point that I can get this muzzle off, sit. It's going to be much better because he's not going to feel that we're taking away his ability to protect himself.
Okay.
Just right now, it's the danger zone.
Yeah.
Hey, what do you think? take him
Oh,
in
you're a
and-
brave man, Joseph.
Nope. Okay. Well, he's learning from me already that this guy sucks. It's pressure.
Yeah.
Sit.
Yeah.
Sit.
My mom's going to be amazed.
He learns pretty quick.
Yeah, he is very smart. He's just very stubborn also.
Yeah.
Let's see if I can't go in and show him good and bad.
Yeah.
Here's your option. I can love you,
Yes. Or I
or
can...
we're gonna fight.
Ooh.
Come on, Bruno. Come on.
I love it. You show him, Baron.
Baron's like, look at me.
He's like, I'm free because I'm a good boy. Yeah, you're a good boy, Baron.
So we come back in 3 weeks and they're playing with each other in the grass.
No way.
If not, they will be ignoring each other in the grass.
Okay.
So I don't care. You don't have to be friendly.
Right.
You can ignore.
Yeah.
You can ignore all you want.
Yeah.
But you stop trying to kill.
Yeah.
Let's take him in and get him some water.
Okay.
Hi, buddy. Good boy. Come on. This is pretty impressive already.
That he's letting you stand over him?
Yeah, so what he's doing, this is a
Wow.
sign of insecurity. So what he's doing is he's saying, help me.
Really?
Yep.
Okay.
We can start it again, buddy.
You were doing so well, dude.
Good boy. Come on. Come on. Good boy. Good boy, come. Come. Good baby. That was one tap. And actually, I'm thinking 8 is hot. Come on, Billy. I'm going to adjust that now.
Let's see.
I'm going to take him down to 6.
He's like, save me. Maybe that's why my pants are wet.
He got a lot of drool running out of his
Why are you in my lap? Stop it.
food looking.
Bruno, come. 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 Good baby. Good boy. Good boy. Yeah, that's a good boy. Freak.
Not his tail.
Bruno, come. Come. No, come. 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 Good boy. Good boy. He's on 6.
Okay.
Come back.
Bruno, come. No, come. Good baby. And I'm just annoying him. We got tapped 3 times there. You see there's no pain. Yeah,
It's
and I'm
just a
going,
nuisance.
Keep coming, keep coming. Okay, and as soon as he's committing, pressure's off.
Okay.
So I'm going to try changing it up. He's doing pretty well with that. He's following the lead as well. I'm going to try and SNIT. Bruno, sit. Sit. Good baby. Good baby. Good baby. Yeah. That's right. Bruno, come. 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 Good baby.
He's being stubborn.
Yeah.
Stubborn, baby.
Bruno, come. Come on.
So as you can hear in the video, I'm very skeptical of like, oh, he's not going to play with another dog or even ignore them. You know, he's so aggressive. Joseph, I thought, was so brave to bring his precious dog Baron anywhere near Bruno, and, you know, petting Bruno like he did. I knew I found the right guy, because no one would do, not even the vet at the shelter would come in the room when it was time for his heartworm checkup. I had to give him the medicine myself because she would not come in the room, which I also found weird because they're the ones who adopted him out to us. But yeah, that's another story. So we left. went to Maryland. It was very, very hard to leave him, but I knew he was in good hands, and I knew he was with someone who truly loved dogs and truly wanted to help dogs. And so Josef was so sweet. He sent us video updates while we were on vacation. I'll show you some here.
The beast is out and calming down. Yeah, Bruno, come on, buddy. Yeah, that's a good boy. Bruno, come on. Come on. That's a good boy. What do you think, Bruno? What do you think? Good boy. Good boy, Bruno. Bruno out for his morning walk. We're walking at Joseph speed today. No slow poking it around. Gonna turn this dog into a dog. Baron, come. Let Bruno. He's staying to the grass, which is fine with me. We've been working on some heels and sits, but he's definitely not wanting to get the paws too much on the gravel, which as long as I can get the exercise in, all good. Talk to you guys soon. Bruno is now setting the pace. Need to get some bite-proof gloves that have smart fingertips, but I guess be a good way to lose a finger. Got Bruno here. Got Baron running there. See if we can control this. We got a dog barking up the hill there. We have Bruno a little pay attention on the e-collar. Turned away from Baron. We like that. Going to put Bruno a little more in proximity. Bruno, come. Bruno, nope. Good boy. Good Bruno. Pace has changed. Bruno is lagging behind. Josef and Baron have taken the lead. He is kind of rooting under all this brush. Yeah, as you can see there. Of course, wants to mark the whole lake. I don't think he gets a lot of woods time. So very novel dog, smelling everything, rubbing on things. He'll be nice and clean. Let's see. Oh, fatigue. No correction. Just fatigue. Keeping him cool with Baron. Way to go, Bruno.
And so that made me feel really good that he was starting to learn. He was starting to get a little more comfortable with Josef. But what I wasn't prepared for was how much Bruno fell in love with Josef. I could not believe he was following him around like a shadow. He was kissing him. He was wanting attention from him. He was ignoring Baron, Josef's dog. He was hanging out with Kathy in their office while Josef was out running errands. And so truly, I was amazed. And so the plan was to pick him up about a week and a half or so after our vacation. But then Josef texted me and said, hey, he's got a few more issues that I think I can resolve if I have another week with him. So of course we agreed. Yeah, absolutely. But we still wanted to go see Bruno because we missed him. And so we still went up to St. Louis. We spent the weekend with our family. And I got to see Bruno. And let me tell you, I was shocked. He was excited to see us once he figured out it was us. And I'll show you that reunion here in just a second. But as soon as he was done getting loved on by us, he was right back at Josef's side. He followed that man like a shadow, and he just loves him. So real quick, here is the first time we saw Bruno after some training.
I know. Oh, sit.
Surprise! Bruno's gonna get a surprise.
Now remember, you can engage with a command or free.
Free! Hi, buddy! Did you miss us?
No. Hi. No. No jumping. No.
I know. Say hi to Keegan.
No. No.
It's fine. I'm correcting him. Those noises are me.
Oh yeah, I saw. The light blowing up. Hi, buddy. Hi.
It took him a minute to like.
You know who you were?
Yeah.
No, he's just showing some self-control.
Is he?
Stay down.
Hi, baby.
The whole thing is we don't want the jumping now. Later down the road, if you guys revert back to that as you two. But right now, he doesn't understand the boundaries, and if he is has the tendency to be aggressive towards people, you can't have him jumping on you unless you want him jumping on others.
So after that, we went home and we left Bruno with Josef for another week while he worked on working out a few more issues. My parents were also coming down with us to go meet Bruno, and they actually got there ahead of time, and so they got to meet Bruno for without us there. And so here's the footage of them meeting Bruno, which they've met Bruno, but they've never in 4 years have pet him, you guys. They've never gotten to pet my dog in 4 years because he's just so aggressive. So here's them petting Bruno for the first time.
Like that? From what they say, petting a dog under the mouth is the route you want to go, because if you're here, he understands that he could just take off your hand if he wanted. If you go across the top, that's you dominating him.
You like that? Mm-hmm. Do you like that?
It's a good Bruno. Yeah. It's a good Bruno.
It's the first time Mike has ever petted Bruno.
Yeah, Bruno.
3 years we've been trying. No, I could not get within 15, 20 feet of him.
It's a good boy, Bruno.
It's like holding a baby for the first time.
A baby with 42 teeth.
I know. Come here, Baron. Everybody, you can get some attention.
Where you going? Where you
go?
go?
You're not done now. Now I want the back rub. Good Bruno.
Oh, like that?
Good Bruno.
Yeah. Ooh, can I have a cookie? What a Joseph.
Oh, that burp. Yeah, that's a good boy. That's a good boy, Bruno. Yeah. Put your ear.
Look
Good
at you
Bruno.
getting all that attention.
It's like, look at you with that cookie.
You shouldn't bother me with cookies. I'm not getting it.
After that, a week later was our planned pickup time, and so we drove back out there the next weekend, got to see more family, did a training session with Josef for us to learn how to now do the commands and the controls and the different tactics of, stem, which is his e-collar here. We do like little zaps. It doesn't actually hurt. Josef put it on us so that we could see what it was like. And it feels like a TENS unit if you've ever put one of those sticky pads on. It feels just like that. So it doesn't hurt. It almost feels like a vibration. You can crank it up, but he was doing fine on a very low number. And so he said that those cheaper shock collars are more of a static shock and they do hurt. And if dogs are in pain and have fear, they can't learn. So he is very much against fear-based training, pain-based training, things like that. And so that made me feel even better because I was like, oh, I could wear this and this doesn't bother me. It's just like a nuisance. It's a reminder of, hey, get it together. And so we went through this long training. We learned his new commands. We learned what we're supposed to do in different situations. Bruno was put on a raw food diet because he was overweight, because, we overdid it because he was starved. And so I felt bad, so I let him eat whatever he wanted. And he actually lost quite a few pounds. And here's him going to the vet. He was 135 when we dropped him off. And you'll see here what he weighed when we picked him up.
Filthy diet. Bruno, come on. Hey, climb. Climb. No, climb. Sit.
All right, for
Sit.
pepper and scalp rice. Okay, perfect. We will let you know as soon as we get the results in, and then we'll
111.
Woo! You've lost some weight, buddy.
Bruno,
You needed it.
you're on keto. 20 pounds.
And Josef took him in public, you guys. That he took him to Home Depot and Petco and all of these places with humans and animals.
Good boy. Good boy. Yo. Come on. Sit. You want to say hi? Oh, you gonna shake? You shake? Hi. Yes, you're a good boy. Hi, good puppy. Hi, good Bruno.
Bruno in a restaurant.
Yeah.
Oh,
Hi, Bruno.
Bruno.
You want to say hi? Hi, you want to say hi?
Oh.
Yeah, Bruno. Yeah. Good Bruno. Free.
Amber, you want to say hi to Bruno?
Sit. Sit.
How are you?
Sit. Sit.
You smell my puppies? You smell my puppies? Yeah. Yeah.
135 pounds?
Oh my goodness, I think you weigh more than my Tallulah. I think you do. I think you do. Yeah.
Bruno, come.
Good boy.
Bruno, down. Good boy, come. Bruno, down. Good boy. Bruno.
Good job, Bruno. What a handsome man. Oh.
I could not believe it. I never thought Bruno would be able to go out in public, because when I take him to the vet, excuse you, you okay? When I take him to the vet, we had to tranquilize him with pills at home. Then when we got to the vet, we would have to have them sedate him completely. It usually took 2 shots. Then they would do whatever it is, give him his rabies vaccine, trim his nails, clean his ears, whatever. Then they would have to give him a different medication to wake him up. It was miserable, horrible. And now Joseph's just taking him out in public, no muzzle, just a dominant dog leash and the e-collar. And he was doing great. And so now we're finally home. Keegan and I are keeping up on his training. Josef checks in constantly. I know that he and Kathy both miss him dearly.
Hi, buddy. Bruno, free.
He's looking for his water. Are you thirsty? We'll get you water in a minute, baby. Where are we? Where are we? Where are we, bud? Are we home? Where are we? Is that your bed? Let's go see. Where are we? Is that your box of toys? Oh, you haven't had toys for a minute. You've had one toy, not those toys. You see the plant room? Oh, you see Keegan.
Hi. Where's Lauren?
Bruno, come. Bruno, come. Bruno, come. Will you fill up his just normal water bowl for him? And I'll get the other ones here in a minute. Buddy, come on. Come. Go see the plant room. This is your favorite room. Hi, are we home? Oh, yeah, it's a good boy. I know, this is your favorite spot in the house. Oh, is he getting you some water? Don't mind all my plant mess here. Yeah, just put it right there for him. Were you thirsty, buddy? That was a long car ride, huh? That was a long car ride. Take a breath, dude. Good boy. Are you home? Yeah. Have you missed this place? What you think, huh? Are you home? Are you happy? But I just kind of wanted to share Bruno's story in case it helps somebody. Josef says every dog is trainable. So if you are on the fence about adopting a dog that has some issues, just know that there's help out there if you're truly willing to go seek it out. This was a lot for us, so I think our next dog is going to be a little lower maintenance. But I have learned a ton, Keegan has learned a ton, and Bruno has learned a ton from this experience. I've learned patience. I have learned, consistency, and it truly has changed our lives. And I think without Josef, we would have had another quite a few years of sheltered in our house, don't let people come see him type of existence. People do come over, and we would always throw him in the kennel, cover him like a bird, and he would stop barking. But it was always stay away from the kennel, don't put your fingers near there unless you want to lose them. And now he could possibly be out walking around while friends are over. Our friends have wanted to pet him for 4 years too, so I'm sure I'll get some footage of them petting him for the first time. But like I said, if you are in need of a wonderful trainer and you have a hopeless case like I thought I did, Josef is your man. And I will link all of his information down below, and you can follow him on YouTube. He posts a lot on Facebook. So please find the help for your dog. It will change your life and your dog's life. But yeah, I just wanted to share that part of my life with you, because we were kind of quiet about it for a long time, because it was almost embarrassing, because it's like, we have this dog that is so smart but won't listen to us. And now I feel like we have a real dog again. So if you guys enjoyed that, please like, subscribe, comment. If you have questions, please write them down in the comments, and I'd be happy to answer them or get Josef to answer them. But yeah, if you want to follow along on my journeys and adventures, please stick around, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye, guys.